Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Peppard. I am your instructor for Conceptual Physics 111 in the summer. So this video is to just introduce myself and to discuss the course and how the class is set up in D2L. So the first thing I just want to do is talk about myself a little bit. So I already told you my name. It's Bill Peppard. I am 47 years old now. It's getting up there. It's hard to remember. I'm married, have two children. I've been teaching. This is the start of my 25th year of teaching physics in various places. So I've been around for a while, and this is my, I don't know, probably 6th or 7th year doing conceptual physics here at Del Tech. So a little bit more about myself. I have a degree in physics from Rowan University, master's in education from Wilmington University. I enjoy watching and playing soccer, and I support Liverpool Football Club. So that's a little bit about myself. So let me talk to you about the course, which is probably what you're more interested in. So if you take a look at D2L, which is what I have displayed on the screen here, it is all laid out for our summer online course. So let me kind of take you through the important points. So this is kind of the home page. On the home page, you'll have announcements, so those will start popping up relatively soon, close to when the class is starting. I usually allow you to try to get into the class and look at it a little bit before the actual semester starts. So those announcements will show up here. There'll be weekly announcements kind of outlining what you should be completing in the week and kind of any assignments that need to be submitted coming in then. So another important icon here on the introductory kind of homepage is this Pearson icon. So Pearson is a publishing company that uses, or that goes along with our book and provides a homework site for our book, which is called Mastering Physics. So if I click on this, it'll take me to Mastering Physics. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do it a little bit later or in another video if it's a little bit long. So really where you'll probably end up going mostly is the content. And if my computer gets there, there we go. So I would suggest you're going to start here at, that's where you're at. You're watching this video. It says orientation video. Watch this first. So, so this whole first folder has information about the course. So this video, instructor information, communication plan, course orientation, that's about how to interact with me. Course grade overview, topics, which is a really important page. So it tells you what we're doing each week in this 10-week summer semester. Enrolling in Mastering Physics, and then the syllabus, and then some other extra supports in case you need some other assistance besides just me, which is who I would recommend you talk to first. So just kind of taking you through each one of these documents. The instructor information, the easiest way and best way to get a hold of me is through email. So wpeppard@dtcc.edu, or just use the D2L message application, and you can do it that way. But if you email me, I am very responsive to email. I try to respond to you within 24 hours. Usually I do that sooner than that, but if it's not a weekend and it's a weekday, I will respond within 24 hours. So you can get your questions answered that way. It comes right to my phone. Again, I respond pretty quickly. If you happen to want to have a Zoom session, we can do that. So if you wanted to have a private Zoom, we could do that. Throughout this semester, I might set up a couple just like drop-in Zoom hours. If people utilize them, I'll keep them going. But it's really just to allow you to ask questions live and be able to get your feedback right away. Okay. So you should just check on D2L Common, sort of throughout the week and progressing through and trying to complete whatever assignments are for the week. So I'll start talking about those in a second. This is a summer class, so it's only in 10 weeks, so it's really condensed. So you really have to make sure that you are staying up with the material. So just a couple things as I kind of go through these information. So So again, you're expected to log in and stay up with the work. So you'll have lesson videos that you'll be watching. So that would be kind of the lecture of the class. So I'll be talking to you about whatever topic that you're learning that week or topics you're learning that week. And then they'll have various assignments. You'll have lab simulations. So the lab simulations, you'll be collecting data online or completing different activities online, recording data, making graphs, answering questions, looking at the relationships between different variables. So that's going to be your lab element of the class. And because we're not in person, you do all your data collecting and kind of experimenting online. You'll also have homework, which I talked about with the Mastering Physics program. So that's aligned with the book. So you'll want to get a copy of Mastering Physics that goes along with the book. So I'll have a link in this important class information tab where you can access the bookstore and get everything you need there. One thing that you're also going to do, you're going to be taking kind of screenshots of various things and sending them to me. It's really important you don't send HEIC files. So HEIC files are basically from your Apple photo or iPhone. And for whatever reason, D2L won't access those photos. So if you do send those, I send a response right back that says I can't access it, and you just have to change the file type. So a lot of times you can save it as a PDF, and that'll work. But just some general ideas that I think are important for the class. If you need help, or if you're struggling, or if you have a question, it can be a very simple question. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Just ask me. Like I feel like a lot of students are hesitant to ask their teachers for help. That's my job. That's what I get paid to do. So and I enjoy helping students understand things. So if you need any assistance whatsoever, whether it's technical assistance with the website or D2L or Mastering Physics, you need help understanding a concept or clarifying a question so that you can answer it more completely, ask the question. Don't feel like you're bothering me. You're not. All right. So that's one thing I would say is, like, successful students ask questions and seek help and clarification. The second thing I would say successful students do is they stay up with the work. So kind of leading into the next topic, which is coming back to the instructor information page. If my computer will, there we go. The topics I'll get to in a second, but the grades. So, staying up with the work is really important because we are condensed. So that's okay, here it is. Again, my email is there, so you can get a hold of me. It's online, virtual, it's self-directed. So the class is set up 100% for you to access the first day. So you can work ahead if you know, like, oh, I'm going on a trip, or I'm going to be really busy this week. I need to get ahead so I don't have to worry about kind of completing anything during that time. It is all set up for you to get working. So it's 100% online. Tests, labs, homeworks, everything you're submitting through the D2L site. So again, if you're reading through these paragraphs, make sure you're just being an advocate for learning. All right. So you just make sure you ask questions. Stay up with the work. That's super important. How you earn your grade is mostly what this page is dedicated to. So there are 5 tests, and they make up 65% of the grade. So your tests, you'll see them online. You can print out everything and then scan it back. It's in PDF, so you can't really type on it unless you have some sort of program that'll edit PDFs, which would be okay. But there are items where I'll ask you to draw pictures or to show I always ask you to show your work, but it's easier sometimes to just handwrite those things. So if you print out the assignments and then you can just scan it back using your phone, that's a good method to get things submitted. All right. Homework makes up 15% of your grade. So that's using the Mastering Physics app that we're talking about. And then finally, online simulations, those online activities, they will make up the other 20% of your grade. So again, it's very similar to what you would do in real in-person class. It's just a virtual version of many of the labs that we do in person when I teach it live. So, so that's how your grade breaks down. Just to talk to you about physics, because I maybe haven't done that before. Physics is just the science that tries to explain how and why things happen or how things work. So it has a very kind of negative reputation that it's really, really complicated. Hopefully I can make it so it isn't that complicated. It's really just trying to look at the basic ideas behind why things happen. So if you were successful in a biology class or a chemistry class, you can be successful in physics. It is a little bit more mathematical maybe than some of those other classes is, but the math, again, is mostly algebra, and I try to make sure that I help. If you need assistance with the math, I can help you. The tutoring center or can help you as well. So like those are all options that I would say are important. So let me get to the final, or one of the big ideas in this folder, which is the topics and activities schedule. So this is kind of the guide for what you're supposed to do starting the first week all the way through the 10th week of the course. So so again, I have it kind of color coded up at the top that tells you what idea or what you're doing. So the pink highlights are the videos. The yellow is the mastering physics or the homework that's online. The blue is the test, and then green is the simulation labs. So, so if you look at it, our first week starts May 13th, which is not too far away. And you're gonna try to learn about these different pieces of information. So intro to physics, nature of science, 1D motion, and then graphic motion. So we're going to talk about position, velocity, acceleration in the first week. And you have a couple videos to watch. So it says motion videos 1.0 to 1.3. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to watch those videos. I provide notes for those videos in the document section for each week. I'll kind of show you the breakdown of how that works after we get through this, this page. And then over here, things that are graded at the end of the week. So this is the start of the week, which is on a Monday. And then the end of the week, I usually make Sunday night. So all your submissions should be Sunday night by midnight. So there are two different simulation labs that you're going to complete. One is a timing challenge simulation, and then distance, time, and speed challenge simulation. So so those are two different things. You'll take screenshots of completed kind of successful certificates, and you'll send them in to me, and that'll count for your grade for that. So that's how that works. So as you go through, you can look each week. It has the same kind of descriptions of what week we're in, the date of the start of the week, when it's due, whatever their assignments they are. Some more simulation labs here, some more videos to watch. And then it looks like week 3 is our first test. So that's there, and you can kind of keep progressing. So this is all set up on D2L for you. So if I go back to the D2L page and I go to content, so I'm going to click on Unit 1, which is describing motion. So if I go to Unit 1, it has, again, it breaks it down by the videos. So so these are the videos that go along with Unit 1, so 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And then it has the documents. So Lesson 1, that's basically the Unit 1 notes. So that goes along with those 3 videos. So if you wanted to print these out and take notes on your own, you could have that. That's basically the PDF version of what I talk through in the slides you'll see on the screen. There's also maybe some examples that I go through or other worksheets that you might want to print out and try yourself. So again, those are all here for you to access. And then the simulation labs, that's the labs you're going to turn in. So it's, it says complete and submit 3 simulation activities that go along with week 1. So each simulation has a video that explains how it works. So I talk you through the simulation and how it kind of functions, what buttons you need to push, things like that. Then there's a link to the actual simulation, and then there's the submission page. So like this is the link to the submission. You're going to take your screenshot, make sure it's not an HEIC file, but you'll take your screenshot and submit it in there. So that's for this week. So that's all week 1. It breaks down very similarly for weeks 2, week 3. So week 3 is the first test, and that is all ready to go for you. So so the test is right here. It is open. So you can, again, if you wanted to kind of work through this at a faster pace than what I prescribe, that is fine. But it is, I've broken it up at a reasonable pace. Like if you have, things going on, you can work ahead. But it's kind of if you follow the timeline, it's to guide you to get through it without stressing yourself out too much, hopefully during this condensed 10-week time period. So that progresses all the way through the class. That's unit 1. We're at weeks 1 through 3. Unit 2 starts in week 3, kind of straddles, like some of it is motion and some of it is in force of Newton's laws. And then it progresses throughout the weeks, throughout the different units. Each unit has its own test, and you just submit it. Submit your test, you submit your labs, you submit your homeworks, and you're going to do fine. So let me pause a second and kind of talk about what's going on with the class. So I would say that my teaching philosophy is that my job is to help you be successful. So it's a little difficult with online classes where we don't interact as much face-to-face or in real time. So again, I think I explain things pretty well, but if I'm maybe not explaining something so that you understand it, you need to ask questions. So send me those emails. When you need help on something, ask for the help. If you need anything, really, just reach out. I really do try to make sure that everyone is successful and to help everyone through the course. So some people are like they get it, they've done physics before, or it just clicks and it makes sense to them, so they might not need as much assistance. If you're not that person, that's okay. Like again, my job is to help everyone. So if you need help, again, I'm trying to stress, please ask for help. So we talked about asking for help and advocating for yourself. We talked about staying on pace. So make sure you're trying to keep up with the work. There are due dates on D2L there that say you need to submit by a certain time, or on the Mastering Physics site, you need to submit by a certain time. And generally, I would try to stick to those. But I know life comes up and sometimes things happen and you don't have time to finish something up, or you're a little bit behind, or whatever it might be. That's okay. Just try to reach out to me. Let me know, hey, I'm working on this. I'm not quite done. Let me know your situation, what's happening. And I am a reasonable person. Like I will allow you to turn some things in maybe a day late or a couple days late without any real penalty. If you're significantly late and this is a problem that keeps coming up, or it's like a reoccurring issue where you're turning in things late all the time, then I might be less inclined to assist you with that. But if you don't feel like you are stuck. If you don't get it in on the due date, it doesn't mean you get a 0. So make sure, again, you just communicate with me so I know what's going on and I can assist, and we can make a plan for it to work for you. All right. So those are 2 things that I would say are important. The third thing I would say is important, which is again difficult in an online class, is sort of building a community to assist you. So if you have a friend that's in the class, I think that is a beneficial partnership because it allows you to communicate or discuss ideas with somebody else besides just the online video of me. So having somebody else to talk to discuss, to work through problems, I would say is a great asset to many students. I think I'm going to try to put in a online kind of chat section, just one little one. You're not going to have to do responses every week. That's silly for me. But I'll at least have one where you'll respond and you'll want to do that. And then you can maybe hopefully link up or set up a class kind of like, hey, I'm looking to study with somebody or talk over questions or tests or labs and kind of get feedback from somebody else. Then I think that's a beneficial thing. And I'm going to try to set that up so that you can exchange information with each other and communicate through text, or if you ended up wanting to meet at the library or do something like that, you could do that too. But I think it's a really good asset for students to be able to share in their learning and clarify ideas through other people besides just me. So I'm gonna try to get that set up in the next couple of days and before class starts, so you can get started with that right away. Those are really the big 3. Like if you can do those things, if you can advocate for yourself, if you can stay up to date on the material and up to pace with the lessons, and then you have somebody else to talk to communicate with, to kind of bounce ideas off. I think those things are really common for people that are successful in the class. And I would say the large majority of people that take this class are successful. Like, I have a very high pass rate. I try to make and work with people so that you can be successful. Because again, that's my philosophy. Like, I'm not here to stop you from achieving what you're trying to achieve. I'm just here to try to teach you physics, to try to help you understand kind of how things work in the world physically a little bit better. And then you're demonstrating that you're doing the amount of work that I need for you to show that you have learned. So that's sort of my philosophy. Okay, so those three things are really a big deal. So I've showed you the course. Let me show you mastering physics a little bit. So if I go back to the home page, and I'll come back out to the 2 summer classes that I'm teaching. So I'm teaching 2 classes this summer, your online class, and I'm teaching 1 class in person in Georgetown at the Owens campus. That class is on Mondays, so if you message me on Mondays, I might be less responsive than I would be Tuesday through Friday. But if you message me Monday, I can still answer questions. It's fine. It just might not be as quick as I would normally. So if you click on this Pearson link, it's going to ask you to open. You'll have to set up Mastering Physics. You'll set up an account. If you buy the book through the bookstore, make sure you get a book that has the access codes, and I'll include a video of how to do that. There's a page on here that has like kind of descriptions on how to find the access code and enter it so that you can get there. I think you have to go through Brightspace, but you'll eventually have this access to this site through the book. I have had other students in other classes purchase the book through like Amazon. As long as it has an access code, they were successful in getting to, sorry, my cats are making noise. They were successful in getting to the Mastering Physics site and accessing that. So it doesn't really matter to me if you buy it there or not, but I know the bookstore will have, or the online version that you're going to access through the bookstore will have the right codes. All right. So kind of looking at the homework, there's assignments here, there's scores, there's dates. I'm trying to get it to, let me do this, try to open it up as like a student. So if I clicked on, say, homework 1, student view, okay. So in the homework, when you get to, after you're logged in and you have access to everything, you'll have questions, and each question is generally worth a point or 2. Depending on how many parts it has, but you're just going to enter your answer. Some of them are multiple choice, some of them are typing in numbers. So you would, you click here and you try. My philosophy on homework is that I want you to, again, get the right answers. So if it takes you more than one time, that's fine. It shouldn't take off points based on if you make a mistake. So if you make a mistake, it shouldn't kind of deduct lots of points. It might deduct a small amount, especially if it's like a multiple choice question where you can just guess. But if it's an enter a number type question, I generally try not to make it so it takes off points. If you're late on an assignment, it can take off some points. But for the most part, like your homework grade, as long as you're doing them and completing them, you should be getting most of the credit, or almost 100% of the credit. Again, it's pretty straightforward. You just click on an answer. It'll tell you whether it's right or wrong right away, and you'll go through these kind of questions and complete it. So it's not too bad. It's based on the textbook, so a lot of the definitions come from the textbook, or the ideas are coming directly from the textbook. I might use slightly different notation or words when I'm discussing it on my online videos, but this is again, it's aligned with the textbook, which is the conceptual physics book by Yuen. Sometimes you get problems like this where you have to kind of drag and drop the ideas, and again, you submit, and then it'll tell you whether it's right or wrong, and you just keep trying until you get it right. I'm trying to get to one that has a numeric solution. Okay. So in these, you would have to type in your response, you hit submit. It'll tell you whether you're right or wrong right away. So if you get it wrong, you can keep trying. I would say don't spend hours and hours doing the homework. That's not the goal of the homework. The homework's trying to assess, do you understand what's going on? If you don't, if you have trouble with one problem on the homework and you're the type of person who wants to get them all right, send me a message and say, hey, I'm having trouble with whatever homework it is. I would suggest, again, take a picture, like a screenshot, and send it into your email of like the actual problem. That makes it easier for me to assess what you're doing. You can take a picture of the work that you've submitted or the work that you've done to try to solve the problem. And usually if I have those two parts, like the question and the work that you've done, and I can understand it and read it, I can find your mistake right away. And it's usually probably something fairly small. It's not like a huge conceptual idea that you're messing up. It's usually like a sign error, or you transposed a couple numbers, or you put in you flip the equation or flip the fraction that you're trying to figure out. So those things are common mistakes that I can identify right away and say, hey, you just have to do this. And then you're like, oh yeah, I forgot a negative. And then you put in the negative and it turns out to be right. So it's usually not you messing up or students messing up drastically. It's usually just a small mathematical error or a syntax error where you're just like typing it in the wrong way from what they want. So anyway, those are kind of like the homework assignments are set up in similar ways all the way through, and it'll tell you your score, and that'll be fine. So I think I've covered most of the material and ideas that I wanted to talk about. Again, I wish you well this 10 weeks. So just May through kind of July. Again, you can work at your own pace. If you have any questions, reach out and let me know. And best of luck, be well. I will be responding to you through email mostly. All right, have a good one, unless you want to Zoom. So have a good one. I'll talk to you guys later.